vodka, magic carpet styling, proof like magic that challenge, proof unique reminding, getting round that losing shop, my word she back again, you will never end the rain, we keep multiplying, running through the evidence, there's just no denying.
Hi, family. Getting on here today because I wanted to kind of give a little dialogue about that Kendrick Lamar Super Bowl halftime dealio. All I can say is that I am super duper excited that someone finally stood up to these. I'm not even going to start saying names or calling anyone out of their names. I'm going to keep it professional, keep it cute. But you guys, you got to admit that was amazing. That was the best Super Bowl halftime known to man. And it wasn't just because of Kendrick Lamar's performance. It was because of his performance, but it was also because of the message in his performance. Okay, this man came with guns a-blazing. Okay, now it's so beautiful how just the fact that Samuel Jackson was, playing Uncle Sam. Not only it's just exciting that Samuel L. Jackson was playing Uncle Sam, which, the Super Bowl halftime was a perfect display of how America sees African Americans. And that's basically what the whole performance was all about, letting, America know that, hey, you don't run me. And that is what Kendrick Lamar's message was. We're just going to start where Samuel L. Jackson played Uncle Sam in representation of those who envy us, those who envy us, the way they see us is not because they think that we're nothing. They know that we're everything and they envy us. And so, I'm not going to say government or anything because they're not my government. No one governs me. I'm a sovereign being. So, but at the end of it all, just how Samuel L. Jackson played Uncle Sam in, representation of, those who envy us. And when Kendrick Lamar came out and he did his first song, the first thing Samuel Jackson says is that it's too loud, too reckless, and too ghetto in response to Kendrick Lamar, doing his first song. Because soon as Samuel L. Jackson comes out and says, hey, Kendrick Lamar, what are you doing? That is too loud, too reckless, too ghetto. Don't you know how to play the game? And so Kendrick Lamar stops. And in the beginning, they have the dancers doing a formation of the American flag, red, white, and blue. And so all of his dancers are in red, white, and blue, representing the flag. And I like the way he kept dividing the flag, meaning this country is in division, and he was standing in the center of the divided flag. Basically, it gets deep. The messages were so loud. But after Samuel L. Jackson tells him that his first song is too loud, too reckless, too ghetto, his response to that is his next song, Be Humble, Sit Down. I don't know if you guys have ever heard that song go, be humble, sit down. Be humble, sit down. And he's saying, look, I grew up on syrup sandwiches. Like I grew up poor in the ghetto, and this is my time to shine, and you're not going to tell me to be humble and sit down. And then he switched to a song that's singing, I have royalty and loyalty inside my DNA, meaning basically I'm tired of being humble and playing small. So that I don't intimidate you, because we got to know those that, try to step on our necks and try to tell us who we are and what we should do and how we should think. They're jealous of us. That's why they need the control, because they can clearly look at our history and see that we are of royal lineage. We've been here billions of years. Our African goddesses are the center, okay? The creme de la creme, okay? And so being that they know this about us and they know our royal history, yes, they have been trying to make us be humble and sit down, because they definitely don't have what we have. Gold flowing through our blood and in our skin, and us being galactic beings, etheric beings, coming from the ethers, and not from the Caucasus Mountains. It's like, I'm not trying to, berate any race, but you got to know they've been beating us down for so long. And Kendrick Lamar came out like we fixing to. And when he came out in the beginning, this is what he said. In the beginning, he tells everyone that they picked the right time, but the wrong guy. He says that in the very beginning of his performance, that they picked the right time, but the wrong guy. And so basically, I was really just excited because throughout the whole Super Bowl performance, I was just picking up the messages. And so basically, he tells them he's tired of being humble, playing small so as not to intimidate them. Then he sings a song basically stating, have you ever walked your enemy down with a smile? Meaning, yeah, you guys picked me because you thought that I was going to allow you to control me. You picked me for this Super Bowl because you thought I was going to do what you asked me to do and play the game like you wanted me to play it. And but he said, basically, have you ever walked your enemy down with a smile? And then now Samuel L. Jackson comes out and says, "Oh, so you think you're tough?" Samuel L. Jackson comes out as Uncle Sam saying, "Oh, so you think you're tough now because you got your boys with you." It kind of was cringy when he said the word "boys" because that's the word that's the label they have put on African men for the longest of times, is that they're boys. They don't never give them the titles that they deserve as far as kings, and gods, let alone being a man, but he says, so you think you're tough now, you got your boys with you. Then he looks at the camera and says, deduct one life, which lets you know that when in that industry, when they sign those contracts and make those oaths and then don't do what those maggots tell them to do, guess what happens? Yeah, they do. They kill members of their family. They deduct the life from someone that they love. So there's consequences when get crossed up in something to where you're trying to become a millionaire, but at the expense of, being someone's pet for the rest of your life, where they tell you when to shit, eat, and sleep, and what to speak, and so so now Samuel says, oh, you think you're tough, you got your boys with you, then looks at the camera and says, deduct one life. And so Kendrick Lamar, takes that, and then he starts singing a song from Luther Vandross. He has the young lady SZA, she's a singer, and they sung the song by Luther Vandross called Star. All the stars are broken, all the stars are broken. And I don't know the words, but Samuel L. Jackson as Uncle Sam liked that much better. And he started saying, yes, yes, that's better, that's better. Something calm, something easy, something digestible for us white folks. Basically is what he's saying. Yeah, that's better. Something, to whereas we're not speaking the truth and the music doesn't have meaning, and it just, it's not anything that's going to change a nation or inspire anyone or, raise anybody's awareness. Basically that's what we want. Just, something calm and easy and digestible. And then he said, then Uncle Sam, Samuel L. Jackson, aka Uncle Sam, says, this is what you need to do. Be quiet and do not cause too much ruckus. Play the game the way we designed it for you to play. And, they show the confidence in Samuel L. Jackson's face as if he had, convinced Kendrick to, sway in his direction. And then Kendrick Lamar starts off, dun, 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 dun. And we all know what that is. Dun, 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 dun. He's a fan, he's a fan, he's a fan. So, of course, Kendrick, being the rebel that he is, dips in the opposite direction and saying, they are not like us. Meaning, he's calling out all the pedophiles. He's calling out all the pedophiles, molesters, those who are in that industry that are pretending to be, elites, but really they don't have anything elite about them except for their false status. And it was at the expense of, shedding blood and, a bunch of horrible things that happened throughout history on how they got here. So basically, Kendrick Lamar is calling them all out in the song, and of course, number one person he's calling out is Drake, because him and Drake has a beef. Though he's calling out everybody, and what really made me laugh is when he looks right into the camera. When he gets to the part about Drake, he looks right into the camera and says, "Say Drake, I hear you like 'em young. You better not ever go to cell block 1. And for any woman who's with him and they in love, just make sure you hide your little system from him." Meaning he's basically saying that, you are a pedophile. And I'm going to say it loud and clear. And do you know this man got more views and more more follows than Michael Jackson? I don't know if everybody else was getting the message in this whole scene, but what I loved is that he used Serena Williams just to let it be known, like, the black woman is supposed to be protected, and he's basically telling Drake, you better not ever speak on Serena, because it's about time that these black men start standing up for the black woman. It's a sad thing that these black men hate themselves so much. They hate their skin color. They hate everything about themselves, to whereas they'll try to go get with someone that looks different than them because they hate themselves. They don't even want their own kids to come out looking like them. Kendrick Lamar is basically letting Drake know that, while you sleeping with men and still trying to act like you want a woman, you better not ever speak on Serena, because him and Serena was together. Drake and Serena had I guess some type of love affair. I never knew about it, but evidently it happened, and he spoke bad on her. And so Drake is really getting the bad end of the stick this year, you guys, and I hope he keeps on getting it, because if he's really a pedophile and he's really doing all the things that Kendrick Lamar is saying he's doing, I don't expect to see nobody supporting him. Anybody that would grab your 12-year-old's daughter vagina or do anything, to harm a child, or underage child, they don't need to be, selling millions of records, they don't need to be selling millions of records, because if you still support someone like that, then I need to question, who the hell are you? Because, and what is this world coming to? Though, I had to get on here and just really applaud Kendrick Lamar, because he got on there and he showed up and he showed out, and he basically elevated the black woman. After, he had all his men dancing during the beginning of the show, but at the end of it, he had the women leading the line. He had Serena Williams. She might have been doing a crip walk, but guess what? That was the way they chose to rebel and show that, hey, we're going to do what we want to do. And it's not up to you to tell me how to perform and how to live my life. And yes, I love that they picked the right time and the wrong guy, because I feel the same way about myself. You never know what you're going to get, depending on what you bring. So at the end of the day, you guys, I am really proud of Kendrick Lamar. I am really happy that he showed up and showed out and let them know, hey, I got loyalty and royalty inside my DNA. Don't play, get away. Okay, not today. Okay, so let's keep going, you guys, and know that we are on the rise, us as African Americans, and just globally. So let's just keep on, putting that one foot in front of the other, knowing that you can't look down, wear the crown, because it'll slip and fall off your head, So at the end of the day, just keep moving forward and know that, changes are happening. And, I think we all can learn a lot from Kendrick Lamar, in just that, he knew that there could be consequences to his actions, and he didn't give a F. Okay. And that is who I am. And that is why I applaud him. Okay. If you're not willing to die for something, then that means you're willing to fall for anything. I'm just going to go ahead and leave it at that. And I pray everybody else is able to step into the shoes and the purpose that they are here to step into without fear.
Oh, forget that right, here I come. Magic of bitch styling. Move like magic that challenge. Proof you need reminding. Getting round the losing shop. My word, she back again. You will never end a rain.
We are royalty family.
Running through the evidence. They just no denying.